New at 6, 3 house fires in just 2 days. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melanie Lofton. You come home from work expecting your package to be here, and there is nothing on your welcome mat. It's being transported in things like water bottles and soda bottles, and some people are even using it on things as small as a postage stamp. The first time we were live out here, and where I'm standing now, the water was about 6 feet away from us, and now I'm looking down and the water is lapping about 2 feet behind me, so we're going to have to move back again. This is the arrest affidavit filed just this morning. We got our hands on it, and it shows that Susan Jones worked here at the cardiac catheterization lab at Seton Williamson. On my right is the Salvation Army shelter, and take a look at that flag. The wind is whipping it around, and that's what Chicago was talking about, that wind chill that's making it feel like it's 25 degrees out here. Talk about an unusual crime. Imagine the clerk's surprise when the man pulled this out of his pants. What you're seeing right now, this has come down significantly from what it was when we got here. If you take a look at the ground, you'll see some debris from the water line earlier today. Austin police were called to a suspicious death in Northwest Austin. They found a female victim inside, and now they are investigating this as a homicide. This is one of the spots where you can purchase overnight parking. It's as simple as selecting a next day purchase. The challenge, finding a place to park.
And if you're expecting those last-minute gifts tomorrow, this is a must-see story. KITV's Melanie Lofton joins us live now to show us how a minor investment can actually be a big help to police. Mel?
It's one of those things that makes you mad. You come home from work expecting your package to be here, and there is nothing on your welcome mat. But tonight, a $200 investment gives us a clear picture of an alleged thief, and that picture may be priceless. This video shows a quiet Pflugerville neighborhood, but then a white car shows up.
I think he's just kind of trying to scope out the neighborhood, see if there's any packages that have been left out.
The driver sees what he wants. He parks, gets out, picks up, and takes off.
Pretty bold move, I would have to say.
Bold because these are James Greenhall's packages, but that is not James Greenhall.
It's really quite annoying. I mean, just to imagine that somebody has the nerve to do that and take advantage of people when they're typically not home.
What was home? Greenhall's security camera, a $200 investment that he bought after other break-ins and another package theft in his neighborhood.
Most people don't even notice it.
Now deputies have a clear picture of who they should be looking for. But thanks to this video, deputies are not the only ones looking. After being shared more than 100 times, neighbors are on the hunt too.
Everybody around here is extremely mad about it.
And while Greenhall shares a bit of that anger, he also revealed some compassion.
Yeah, I feel sorry for these people, and I mean, I hope he gets caught. I don't want anything bad to happen to him, because I'm sure somewhere deep down he's a good guy.
A good guy capable of bad behavior. And if you don't take precautions, what happened to Greenhall could happen to you. Now, you may not have a security camera, but there are things you can do. For example, many retailers allow you to leave special instructions. For example, if you have a post, something like this at your house, you can ask the delivery person to place it directly behind that post, so that way it's not visible from the street. You can even ask the delivery person to place it in your backyard. That way, a potential thief won't even know you've had a delivery. Reporting live, Melanie Lofton, KITV News.
It was certainly one of the most memorable moments from Wednesday night's rescues, and tonight the waters receded on Springdale Road, and that man, Albert Yost, is talking about it.
KITV's Melanie Lofton joins us now, and Mel, even though he survived, he actually still feels like he lost his life?
He does, after losing so many priceless items. His house sits right next to Walnut Creek. It's just on the other side of the house here. This actually is the 4th or 5th time that the creek has come in. And despite being a man who fought on the battlefields of war, he says it was this flood that had him ready to surrender. A home full of memories, pictures, family heirlooms, and keepsakes marking Albert Yost's 96 years on Earth. He survived deadly battles in World War II, but this flood had him ready to wave the white flag.
Having passed 96, I was tired of it, and I said, that's all for me. I can't take it anymore.
So bleak after living through several floods in this house he's called home for decades.
This is worse then the jungles of Burma with the Japanese shooting you.
It could have been tragic, and Yos was ready for that because what may look like furniture and pictures to us are symbols of everything he's worked for.
I might as well die in the water than have to see the house, the condition it's in. All the furniture, everything practically is damaged. There isn't a thing left.
The restoration company says he's right. What percentage of all the stuff in his house do you think is salvageable?
I would say maybe 15%.
But despite his grim outlook Wednesday night, Yos is now determined to make this building a home once again.
The few years I have left, I'm going to end it in here.
Rooted, just like the flagpole in his yard, down yet dignified. Now, Yo's years of dealing with flooding has actually inspired his granddaughter. She's studying civil engineering in hopes that no more people suffer as her grandfather has. Live in Northeast Austin, Melanie Lofton, KITV News.
Breaking news from KITV News.
Good evening, I'm Melanie Lofton. Austin police were called to a suspicious death in Northwest Austin. They found a female victim inside, and now they are investigating this as a homicide. KITV's Rachel Cox has been at the scene. Rachel, what have police said so far? Thank you. Right now, firefighters are investigating a fire at a Northwest Austin daycare. The ABC Child Development Center on Millwright Parkway caught fire this afternoon. A lot of viewers who were nearby snapped pictures and took video of the scene. Now, fire officials had to shut off the gas to the building because a gas line also caught fire. 2 vacant stores and a convenience store suffered heat damage. No one was hurt. Firefighters say the daycare is a total loss. Damage is estimated at $700,000. Al-Qaeda has killed 2 Western hostages during a botched rescue mission by U.S. forces. The team initially recovered both hostages, and the medical team attempted to stabilize them. But one died during transport to a nearby ship. The other died after arriving. Mary Maloney has the story. During the first attempt in November, Special Forces freed 8 hostages. 2 days later, militants had separated Summers and 4 others from the group and moved them to another location. Eric Gardner's family laid a wreath at the spot where he had a fatal confrontation with police. This week, a grand jury decided not to charge New York City police officer Daniel Pantaleo in the apparent chokehold death of Garner. Next Saturday, the Garners will head to Washington, D.C. to lead a march for justice with Reverend Al Sharpton and other families who have lost loved ones in police-involved incidents. Organizers say they are planning to rent buses to take protesters from New York City to Washington, D.C. When Congress resumes work after the holiday break, it will be with a long list of fresh faces. Voters sent more than 80 new members to Congress. Some outgoing members were defeated. 32 others decided to retire instead of seeking re-election. National correspondent Christine Frizzell sat down with 2 of them for a congressional exit interview. The 114th Congress begins its work on January 3rd. The much embattled U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is coming under fire for spending millions of dollars on ineffective television ads. The ads, including one that aired during the Super Bowl, was a super flop, according to the VA's Inspector General. The agency paid Woodpile Studios, a Virginia-based advertising agency, more than $10 million taxpayer dollars to try to make veterans aware of benefits and services they could receive through the VA. The VA admits that it knew after the first $5 million contract that the ad campaign was not working. A new store opening in California is offering what it calls the world's healthiest donuts. Dr. Bob's Donuts and Doyos is sort of like a frozen yogurt bar. You choose your donut type and toppings and then pay by the ounce. Most of the choices are gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan. And instead of fried, the donuts are steamed. Donuts are not supposed to have nutrients in it. That's my idea on that one. Dr. Bob's opens on Monday if you want to try a healthy donut.